How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto. Today is, of course, June 3rd, 2019, and sort of laughing here, but this is pretty hilariously a win for Justin Sun. That a $4 million, 567 bid just to get this lunch with Warren Buffett. I can only imagine being a fly on the wall in this conversation, and I think that this is an interesting audience for Justin Sun to bring. I mean, this is why I say Justin Sun, you can never really predict what he's going to do next. He's really one of those CEOs that's a visionary for the 2019, and certainly somebody who is interesting to figure to look at in the context of the cryptocurrency paradigm shift, which is another reason why I think that TRON is one of those cryptos that's able to make these big headlines. So of course, it's interesting to think about like what sort of conversations would happen between Justin Sun and Warren Buffett, especially considering the past comments that Warren Buffett's made regarding cryptocurrency, and of course the optimism that Justin Sun sort of it's interesting to see this sort of clash of the titans in a certain sense. And this is all coming at an interesting time. We've got John McAfee says he's launching his own freedom cryptocurrency. And of course, among many other things, we've got some other interesting articles. Winklevoss bros want you to book your seat on the Bitcoin rocket. And I think that it's pretty interesting to see. Now, of course, right now we've got U.S.-China trade, possible recession, according to some economists, which, I mean, the situation with U.S. Sort of China, it's interesting to see how that basically has been a really big advertisement for cryptocurrency. I think that people it honestly, if things continue to heat up, we talk often on this channel about the fragility of the past paradigm, and often we bring up that world debt calculator. I don't have it up at the moment, but it basically just shows you how we're still on sort of a ticking clock thing. And I mean, it's one of the biggest attractive things. I mean, because obviously, Bitcoin started up in 2008, correlating with basically the similar situation that we're getting obviously situation with Wall Street and all these different things. And I think one of the main reasons why cryptocurrency is gains 55% in May, as its fourth best month since 2013, and people still are doubting cryptocurrency. Amazingly, I think that it's interesting to see because there's so much volatility and people get whipped around so much that cryptocurrency is filled with so many different voices. And really, this is why we say you should only trust your own due diligence in this space. Because look at a couple of months ago, Warren Buffett was one of those outspoken people who talked against cryptocurrency. One of those people who I wouldn't necessarily put my faith in, but it seems like Justin Sun's working on him to get him to convert over to the future, and I'm sure that it's one of those things that's we really can't overlook. Now, of course, this article, the price of TRON TRX is skyrocketed after founder Justin Sun teased a big reveal about the cryptocurrency. In a tweet dated June 1st, he referred to a project involving TRON and BitTorrent. I think I will have a 70% chance to win and nail it, he said. And it's interesting now, now that it's been a little bit of time, we've been able to basically look back, and it's interesting to look at how the trajectory of these things is sort of developing. And I think that the future of the decentralized internet, these different things are readily prevalent now, and conversations that are becoming more and more relevant as these things continue to move forward. Now, of course, Justin Sun, one of those pioneers in the industry that really can't overlook. And I think that this is all paying off pretty interestingly with TRON. The weekly report right here. Of course, just, I mean, if you guys spend as much time reading white paper and doing research on these things as I do, I mean, you'll understand that, TRX and BitTorrent are, really working towards some interesting things. I mean, 15 languages supported: Arabic, German, Russian, French, traditional Chinese, Korean. Very interesting stuff to see, how Tron has been really leveraging its presence on the international stage, that whole global community aspect that we talk about, which is really one of the key proponents of the cryptocurrency revolution that we're seeing sort of happening, bit by bit, one sliver at a time. Definitely these things don't happen overnight, but it is amazing how many things have happened in just packed into this, mid half of 2019. Very interesting, sort of stuff. Could Bitcoin hit 50K in a wild world of crypto options? Some say yes. I definitely agree with that statement. It's more of a matter of time, I would say. I don't see any difference, there, but alert: the volume of Litecoin chart is about quadruple what it was back in January 2019. Only is this interesting, but real documented proof. It's definitely interesting to see how the good information manages to sort of go over people's heads. But another thing that I really just wanted to bring up now is just the amount of money that it costs to move money, which is almost like a oxymoron, it seems. And I think that people are starting to realize the truth. Of course, at the time of making this video, we're looking at Bitcoin SV, of course, Cosmos and Ravencoin, all as the top performers. We're going to be making a more in-depth conversation about Bitcoin SV and why this is an interesting project. I think it was only just, it still honestly feels like because it seems like yesterday basically that we saw Bitcoin struggling to make it out of that 4,000, even like $5,000 mark where we were stuck at for quite some time, and now all of a sudden things are speeding up so quickly. It almost seems as if switch has been turned, and we're starting to see a lot of the reciprocal answers coming down the pipeline, which of course is very interesting as things continue to heat up. In particular, just looking at all the different things happening involving Facebook showing their interest in the crypto, Monero's, XMR, Facebook, JP Morgan case launching their own coin is really interesting. This article is interesting for that same reason. I mean, what I'm hoping will happen is people will be exposed to cryptocurrencies through something like Facebook, and they will become interested in it and will want something that's a little bit more, something that gives them more control, more freedom, and they will start like Bitcoin. And I think that's an interesting thing, because it's interesting to see how people this sort of advertising that Facebook has done for cryptocurrency at the same time is sort of getting an entirely new generation of people who are resurgence of interest that sort of we might have lost in 2017 and so forth. As these things continue to heat up, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't see something like Tron, as it's basically gotten out ahead of the pack, in that whole sense of the where Facebook is. And especially I think that Facebook is really looking for a way to get out of their old ways, especially with all the things that we've seen happen with Facebook involving basically when we want to talk about their usage of data and all these different things that are an entirely different conversation in and of themselves. But make no mistake, it's why cryptocurrency has been on the radar, and I think that June certainly will be an interesting month for Tron, especially. 4.5 million might seem like a lot, but to Warren Buffett, that's a drop in the bucket. That's enough to get his ear for a few seconds. But I think this is definitely interesting news, and it's going to be pretty exciting to see how Tron continues to fare up in the overall context of the different things that we've been seeing developing in the cryptocurrency space. And of course, make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel and help support, and of course, comment down below letting us know what you guys think. Always interested in hearing your opinions. And all that being said, if you guys are interested in connecting with us, that's at CryptoTuber on Twitter, as always. And of course, remember, I'm not your dad. add, this video is not financial advice. Of course, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes, family-friendly purposes only. And of course, we hope that you guys go and do your own due diligence. But overall, I mean, my opinion on Tron is pretty optimistic. I mean, I think that we could see some pretty interesting things, and this is a welcome game changer in the community, I'd say. And it is definitely interesting to see how a lot of these different things are really coming together, and it's going to be an interesting crypto summer, I think. So, buckle in, go to the beach, pull up your coin market cap or whatever you like to use, and we'll see how things go. But I'll see you guys next video. Have a good one.